There's never going to be a time that there would not be vacancies in cybersecurity. Why? Our data is out there. And companies lose a lot if there is a data breach. Companies lose a lot if there's an hack. They don't just lose the money. They just don't lose the data that is hacked. Not the money not the customers that are saying they're not going to patronize again. Not the money, not the data, the integrity. And sometimes you could lose your license and you could even have legal issues being sued. That's why cybersecurity is a major career. There's going to be another room for UI UX, and Shagway is going to be in the room. Shagway is going to be in the room. Shagway is a senior UI UX person, and he will spend time to explain the entire user experience industry. No product is built without a UI UX designer. They're always the first person on the product. They will do the research. They will understand what the customers want to buy. They will understand how the customers want to use it. And then they will design it into the product. If you go build a product without a UI UX designer, you're going to be like the guy who built a house and put the sitting room where the bedroom is supposed to be. Because before you start to build the software, you need someone who's going to design the entire architecture, design the entire, roadmap, the user journey. So UI UX, another great career. There's going to be another room on, business analysis and another room on data science. Victor is going to be in BA. If you're on this call and you're ever thinking of relocating to the UK and you don't like coding, BA should be at the back of your mind. Because that is one of the highest vacancies in the UK. Business analyst here, business analyst here, business analyst here, business analyst there. Because the UK is an enterprise market. And finally, there's another room on data science. Data science. For those who are on this call and you're excited about data science. So let's quickly play a game, guys. Go into the chat room and tell me your top 2 skills. Not one, your top 2 skills. What are the top 2 skills that you covet, that you really desire to learn? The top 2. I know some people would have only one. Some people would have only one. Are you sure? Okay, good. This call is recorded. Okay, so go into the chat room and tell me what are your top 2 skills. And then I will hand over to Ronke. So guys, you will go into the breakout room, SQL and Python. So Rachel, SQL and Python, that is data science. Kemi, the Ray, cybersecurity and data analytics. Cybersecurity and data science. Cybersecurity and data science is leading. Cybersecurity, wisdom and design, leading. BA is leading. BA is here. Okay, I've seen 2 BAs. Okay, cybersecurity, UI, UX design, product and digital marketing. Thank you. Cybersecurity, product and digital marketing, cybersecurity, data science. Okay. Keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming. This is beautiful. Thank you. Now, we're going to go into the breakout room, and this is the way the breakout room is going to be structured, guys. This is the way the breakout room will be structured. Thank you. This is the way the breakout room is going to be structured. You will go into the breakout room, and you will meet these folks. You're not going to meet all of them in one room. They're all going to be in different rooms. My colleagues will drop the links to all the rooms now on the call. My colleagues will drop the links to all the rooms now on the call. All you need to do, okay, hope I'm not outdated. Hope that's still the same approach, right?
Yes, it is.
So my colleagues will drop the link in the breakout room. Just click on the link. Click on the link and go into the breakout room. But before they drop it, again, there are 5 rooms. There are 6 rooms. Again, there are 6 rooms. There's a room for those that want to learn cybersecurity. That's the skill that you learn that helps you to protect our data from being breached. There's another room where you meet Shegun for UI UX design. Right. UI UX design. There's another room where you meet Favor, for product and digital marketing. So take some time. Now, please, those guys are sending the link, send it again. At the top one, call it data science and data analytics.
So I want them to fill the advisor's form too before going to the breakout room.
Okay, cool.
Yes. So before you go to the breakout room, fill the advisor's form so that you can speak to a learning advisor after the session. So after you do that, then you can go to the breakout room.
Yeah. The reason we always want you guys to fill the form is because at the end of the call, you want to talk to someone on my team. You want to have a conversation with someone. You need a little bit of clarity. You're confused about something. You hear, okay, I've made up my mind that I want to learn this skill, but how do I move on? How do I do it? Fill the form, guys, and someone is going to reach out to you. Okay, where are the guests, the trainers, are they here? I want to see if they are here.
Yes, they are
already in the breakout room. I see. Are they already in the breakout room, or they are here? If you're here and you're one of our trainers, please feel free to raise up your hand. I can just quickly find you and bring you to the stage. Bring you to the stage. Bring you to the stage. Is any of them here? Oh, Victor is there.
Victor is here.
Victor. Awesome. Victor is here. I'm trying to add Victor. Yeah, I want to pin Victor to the screen. So please, guys, if you can turn on your videos, it will be very helpful. Okay, I see Victor. Victor, good to see you. Oh, I see Iwinosa. Who is that? That didn't look like the name, one of the names of the guest, right? I see Tomiwa. Ade Tomiwa. You know, Tomiwa is my friend. She's my friend that deleted me because I refused to do one of the things that she wanted me to do. Tomiwa, send me money. I will do it today. Send me like £100. And guys that are going into Tomiwa's room, Bila, because she's a rich product and digital marketing person. Who else of the trainers is there? It's Favor here. I'm looking for Favor. Yes, Shagun is here. Shagun would have loved to see you too. Would have loved to see you. I like to put a face to people's names. And it is because I don't want to see you in the future and then not remember that at some point you did this amazing job, right? I want to remember always. Shagun, good to see you. Guys, build Shagun too when you see them now. You see these people that are rich. You see their smile. You know, Bila, when you get to the room. Victor too. Victor is sitting at the back of the car enjoying. We're going into the breakout room very soon, guys. Is any of my trainers here too? Shagun, thank you so much for doing this. Adeti, thank you so much for doing this. This is really very important. Favor, yeah. Favor Yusuf is here. Favor, thank you for doing this. Victor is also here. Victor, thank you. We'll get into the breakout room. Guys, enjoy yourself in the room. Ask all the questions. You know, and we will come back here. Ronke, right? We're coming back here. Good, we'll come back here. And when you come back here, you meet me here, and I will take over from Ronke. Cheers, guys.
Great. Thank you so much, Eitayo. Thank you so much. So, guys, as you've heard from Eitayo, we're going to the breakout room, but make sure that you fill the advisor form before going to the breakout room, because this makes you have a direct interaction with an advisor after this session. So right now, we are moving to the breakout room. Go to the chat room, click on the breakout room you will love to join, and of course, click on that link and join your preferred breakout room session. Join your preferred breakout room session. So if you're looking to join data science, if you're looking to join data analytics, if you're looking to join the software development breakout room, if you're looking to join whichever breakout room.
Ronke, you're muted. Miss Ronke, you're muted, man.
So go to the chat room now, click on your preferred breakout room link. Go to the chat room, click on your preferred breakout room link. And make sure you fill the advisor form before you go so that you can have an advisor reach out to you after the session. Click on your preferred breakout room link. If you're here by now, you are absolutely wrong. So go to your preferred breakout room and meet your beautiful host, your handsome host, and learn so much for them, because that's the main reason you are here actually. Go to your preferred breakout room link and learn from these guys and be motivated to actually start your tech journey today. And even if you're already in tech, it's more advantage for you because you get to learn. Remember that learning never stops. So click on your preferred breakout room link and go right now to your breakout room session. I still have about 75 people here. No, you should be in your breakout room right now. I know that I'm beautiful. Don't wait to look at my face. Go to your preferred breakout room link so that you can actually get value for this session today. I know you've gotten
I
value.
also think, I mean, I know that a lot of them don't want to leave this call because you're beautiful. But I also think that there are some people on this call that are already on the breakout room. So guys, if you're here and you're still on the other breakout room, you might want to sign out from here so that you don't get our disturbance, because we will keep talking here. So just go to the breakout room. If you're struggling to find where the breakout rooms is, just look for the chat on your screen. If you're using your phone, whatever you're using, just find chat on that Zoom. Look for chat and click on the chat. You will see all the different links. There are different links: data science, cybersecurity, software development, product marketing, product management, business analysis, product design. Click on one of them and go into the breakout room. I'll see you guys in the next few minutes. Cheers.
All right. So if you are still here and you're also in the breakout room, you can just leave this room and stick to the breakout room session so that you won't be distracted. And if you're just joining the session, you are not late. Just go to the chat room, click on your preferred breakout room link. If you're looking to do data science, data analytics, you're joining one room. Business analysis, you're joining one room. Product design, product management, cybersecurity, whichever room you're looking at joining, just go to the chat room, click on your preferred breakout room, and join the session now. Please, if you're here looking at me, you are actually wrong. You should be in your breakout room session right now. That's what you should be doing. And if you're still on this session and also in the breakout room, you can leave the session. Don't worry, you come back. You get the link to come back. Just click on your preferred breakout room link and go to your breakout room. Go meet your tutor, go learn.
The other. So I have with me Victoria Adesiji. Are you there, Victoria? Are you with us? Just unmute your mic and say hello to the house. Okay, it seems Victoria is not available. So we have Rollins. Rollins, are you with us?
Hi, everyone.
Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining. Okay, I'm also seeing Oluwafemi. Oluwafemi, are you there? Say hello to the people here. Say hello. Let's hear your voice. Hello. Okay. Hello. Hi. Okay, thanks for joining. I have Justine.
So whichever program you feel like you want to explore.
Justine, say hello to the house.
Hello.
Hello, thanks for joining. I have Okpeyemi. Is Okpeyemi around? Okpey, are you with us? Okay, let's move on. We have Kemi Dre. Kemi, are you with us? Okay, thank you for reacting. We have Mayo as well. We're just trying to, keep ourselves entertained before we introduce our guest for today. So I'm very sure some of you will be wondering, who is the guest? Don't worry. Our guest for Data Breakout Room is going to give you enough information to get you started. And also, it will share more insights regarding the pros and cons of data when it comes to tech industry. So I'm still going to, more people are still joining us. If you're here, just quickly say hi. Say hi. Okay. If you can't say hi, just give me a reaction so it won't be as if I'm just talking to myself alone. We need it to be very, very, very interactive. Yes, thank you, guys. Thank you. Yes. I love the energy already. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes. One more person just joined us now. Welcome. Thanks for joining Data Breakout Room. Yes, thank you. I love the energy. Thank you so, so much. All right. So let's start. Let's start a journey. I'm very sure some of you will be wondering, who is our guest? What? Our guest is one of the gurus in the tech industry. When we are talking about guru, we are talking about people that are doing well for themselves in the industry, that are doing well, making it well, doing big in the industry. We're talking about none other than, let me share my screen so it won't be as if I'm just, talking. Let me share my screen. Oh, give me a minute, please. Okay. I'm still waiting for the rest to give me reaction, though. I'm still waiting for the rest to give me reaction. I'm not getting any reaction from you guys. Okay. 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 So I'm sharing my screen right away. Okay. Thank you, Justin. Yes. So you can see my guest, right? We are talking about none other than Iwinosa Airende-Okpugie. Please give him a round of applause. Yes. I hope that I pronounced the information well, the name well. I'm so sorry. Don't mind me. Okpugie, can you hear us? Are you with us? Are you there?
Hi, can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear. Yes, we can hear you loud and
Okay.
clear. Thanks for joining us
Fine.
today. Thank
Sorry,
you
I'm
so
trying to
much.
turn on my
I
camera so you can
Yes, I know you are quite busy. And I'm very sure the information you are going to bring to for us today, the information you're going to share more light on will be very, very insightful. Will be very, very much insightful. So let me quickly give a brief introduction of who our guest is. Yes, let me give a brief introduction of who our guest is. Some of you can check him out on LinkedIn. He's on LinkedIn. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. When you talk about young people in the industry making it big, forget about if you're 30, forget about if you're 50, forget about if you're old. You can do it. You can achieve it in tech. So let me quickly give you a brief information of Iwinosa. So he's a passionate data analytics professional. And when we talk about someone with deep knowledge, he has trained people in different industry, people who want to upskill in data analytics. He has given them the basic knowledge, the advanced knowledge of what data is all about. And he has been recognized in different platforms. He was also named one of the best young personality of the year at 2020 at Iconic Brand Awards. Imagine that. Even LinkedIn recognized Iwinosa. Please, can you give him a round of applause? Please give him a round of applause. He's doing well. He's doing well. Yes, he's doing well. I'm going to give him a round of applause. If you don't, I'll give him a round of applause myself. Yes, he's doing well. So I would like for him to take over from here so that I don't bore you with my funny conversational me that I'm doing right now. Don't mind me. All right. So Iwinosa, please can you take charge? Because we have limited time here.
All right.
Thank you.
Sorry, I think I'm being muted. All right. Good afternoon. Sorry, good morning, everyone. Please confirm you can hear me. Alrighty. All right. Thank you very much for having me, and thank you for the opportunity to be able to, speak to um, learners like myself, because I'm still a learner. Yeah, even though people refuse to call me that, but I'm still a very, very big learner. All right. So I'm going to be sharing my screen shortly. And sorry, entire screen. Yeah, screen two. All right. So I'm going to be sharing my screen shortly. And okay. Please let me know when you can see my screen. I don't know why that's Please, can you see my screen yet?
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, so my job is simple today, right? We want to be able to understand the concept and see how people can actually become pros in data analytics. So I used to get these questions, Mr. Nusa, Mr. Iwinosa, what's this whole data analytics all about, right? And so that's my job for today. And in the next couple of minutes, as time would permit us, I'll try my best as much as possible to, you know, um, demystify that concept, right? So please do well to work with me, all right? And I believe it's going to be a walk in the park. All right, so moving on, just like Ronke has, given a brief rundown of who I am. All right, so I'm just going to skip that so that we can be able to maximize the time for us. Okay, so moving on, in the next couple of minutes, this is what we're going to be looking at. First off is a bit of introduction, all right, which we have already done, and then we're going to look at data literacy. All right. So usually I do not just delve into the world of data analytics. You should be able to understand data in its own sense, right? All right. So and then we'll now move into data analytics versus data analysis. Most times I mean, in this part of the world, we tend to use them interchangeably, but they mean two different things, right? Then also going to see data analytics and statistics. At what points do they meet? Okay, and then we'll look into data insights, and then we'll see how to categorize data analytics. And then that question of can I really thrive? Can I do this? All right, we're going to see how to break that down, and then as time will permit us, we'll look at the perfect roadmap. What worked for me, all right, and what is working for a lot of other of my uh, uh, um, I would call them mentees or fellow learners. All right, so I'm going to be sharing all of that. So, yeah. So I'd love a bit of ground rules. I just love that everybody have an open mind, yeah, and try and participate in the class. It's for your own good, all right. And so there's this quote by Brian Herbert that I love to make use of. The capacity to learn is a gift. Right, the capacity to learn, the gift has been given to everybody. For you to be here, it's a gift that has been given to you. However, the ability to learn is a skill you need to own. All right, and now even after you've gotten that skill, the willingness to actually learn is your choice. It's not my choice, it's your own choice. All right, and so that's by Brian Herbert. And sorry, I'm doing all of this. That's the way I teach. That's the way I have my class sessions. This is a paid class, whether you like it or not. It's not free. You're either paying with your time. Some of you could have decided to go to church, go to somewhere else, and all of that. But you're here paying with your time. You're paying with your energy. I mean, sitting down for the next 1 hour, to learn. That's energy. All right. And then some of you may even be paying with your data. Some of you have gone to subscribe that, oh, I must be here. I must, whatever it takes, I must be here. Some of you, it's your power supply. Some of you, it's your mind. For the others, it's your money you're paying for. So again, it's not a free class. And as such, do not take it lightly. Right? So, moving on. Yeah, let's talk about data literacy. Data literacy. So I'd love to take us back to, when they say somebody is illiterate. All right, it means the person knows how to what read and write and understand. All right, so if we try to marry that to data, it means that somebody has the ability to read, understand, analyze, and communicate data effectively. If you can only read, you're not a data literate. If you can only read and understand, you are not a data literate. If you can read, understand, and analyze, you're not yet a data literate until you are able to communicate effectively what you have read, what you understood, and what you have analyzed. Until you have been able to do all four of these, then we can say yes, this person is actually a data literate. All right. So um basically, there are six components of data literacy, and in a couple of slides, we're going to look through all of these. Okay, and the first one is data generation. What is data generation? Right. Then after data has been generated, what next? You need to be able to structure that data. All right. And then after you have structured that data, of course, what has been structured needs to be stored somewhere. Okay, so we're going to look about around data storage. And then after you have stored, you need to do some bit of analysis, data analysis. All right, and then you look at through the statistics. And then after all of these has been done, the end goal, the end purpose is so that decisions can be taken, decisions can be made, not just anyhow decisions, not just any kind of decisions, right? But data driven decisions. That's the whole essence of data analytics. So that whoever is making those decisions is not just making decisions because he feels so, or oh, because it's my brother that's in charge. No, you're making decisions because the data is saying this is what is supposed to be. All right. And so um, moving on, let's quickly look at data generation. So I'm going to ask a bit of questions shortly in the next couple of slides. I want to tell, I don't know, on the chat box, can you tell me what can you see on the chat box, please? I'd love. This is going to be it's an interactive class, right? So I want to know what can you see? What do you see? On on this slides. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. The chat box, if you're there, please do what to use the chat box. You can type. What can you see? What can you see? I don't know. Do they? Okay, the street of Lagos. Okay, what else? What else? Somebody help me. What else? What else? The street of Lagos with people. All right. Okay. So because of want of time, right? For me, yeah, perfect response. Some persons say they see humans, some persons are saying, oh, this is the street of Lagos with people. Somebody is saying, oh, it's actually rush hour. Somebody is saying there are people with buildings. Perfect. What you have successfully done is data generation. Data generation is not one big thingy thing that people get to make it sound like. Data generation is what you see on a daily basis. Now we can say, oh, there are people who are selling oranges. There are people who are on shirts and ties working. That is data generation. Now that you have been able to generate this data, right? There's a second slide here. Sorry. This again is another picture. You can see cars. You can see buildings. You can see cars coming, going, and coming, right? That is data generation. However, now that you have generated those data needs to be stored somewhere, right? They need to be stored. So most times we are either writing, writing, okay, mail, that sort of thing where I don't suppose those of us who may be in an event and they say, please take attendance, and then you write mail, 100, females 200. That is you generating data. However, you need to be able to store whatsoever data that has been generated, and that takes us to data storage. All right. And so, what is data storage? Basically, data storage, just like the name implies, where you save your data, how data is being saved, or how data is being stored. And ideally, you have two types of data storages. Two types of data storages. The first is on premise, and the second is on the cloud. Now, I'm going to explain. So, when we speak of on premise means you have a physical object where those data is being stored. Objects like your system, your mobile phone, your smartwatch, your flash drive, all of those are stored on premise. Okay? However, we have another part where our data are being stored, but they are being stored on the cloud. I don't mean on the sky actually, but it's being stored in an environment where you do not have access to. For example, let me not even go too far. Our WhatsApp. When you go to for those of you who have your WhatsApp messages backed up, you do not have a physical place to say yes, this is where my WhatsApp message is stored. But if you have been backing up your messages for 2020, 2019, if you scroll up to messages you have had, conversations you've had in that number of years, you notice that those messages are there. But where are they stored? They are stored on the cloud. For example, your Google Drive, right? You have access to folders and files you store on your Google Drive. Those are things being stored on the drive. So these are the two major, the two data sources we have where we store our data, right? And so we have examples of data sources. I'm not going to bore us with this. We have the likes of Excel. You have WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a data storage. Facebook is a data storage. Because I'm sure most times when you go to Facebook, you see Facebook reminding you, pictures of 10 years ago, pictures of 15 years ago, right? That's because that data was stored there. That file, that picture was stored there. All right. I was I was looking through. I saw a picture of a rejected mail. Somebody was rejected from his a job he applied for, and what was his reason for rejecting or his rejection? The HRO had gone to do their social media checks, and when they did that, they noticed that this young man probably there were some comments or there were some things he did about 5-7 years ago. That data was stored there. The data was stored there. All right, and so it's because that data was stored there. That's how they could have access to it. And so such kind of data were that data's stored on the cloud. If somebody is asking, I thought data are only in numbers or letters. No, you have structured and unstructured data. Even your pictures, your videos, those are data. Data is not just numbers and letters. Pictures, files, videos, all of those are also what? Data as well. All right. So moving on. Now we've understood data storage. Let's quickly look at data structure, right, as relating to data analytics. Data structure as relating to data analytics. In a couple of next minutes, 2, 3, 5 minutes, we're going to be seeing how um, data structure actually affects the way we get to analyze data. All right, because it's one thing to have a data set, and then you want to actually get insights. You want to actually see how you can get information that they contain. All right, you need to be able to structure such data. All right, and so we're going to be looking at 7 different rules that guides data structuring. 7 different rules that guides data structuring. All right, and so before we do that, let's quickly look at this. We have 2 data sets here, and the picture is saying one is a bad structure and the other is a good structure. All right, so we're going to look through, like I made mention, we have about 7 7 rules that would guide our being able to structure our data properly. We're going to come back to this slide probably when we are done, with the different rules, right? And then you will see why the picture below is a good structure, and then the one above is actually a bad structure. You're going to look through that, all right? And so, number 1 rule: when you want to analyze, because after data structuring, the next thing is what? To analyze your data. When you want to analyze your data sets, number 1, you must have a single row of headings. A single row of headings. Now, this is very essential, right? Whatever tool you're using, whatever it be, it Excel, be it SQL, be it Power BI, be it Python, whatever, you must have one single row of headings. Headings we could also refer to as headers. All right, so let's take a look at this picture, the one I made mention of here, that has, you can see here we have 2 headers here. We have the first row here, we have Seattle, we have Portland, and we have Vancouver. All right, and then you see the second one here. We now have the different items that have been sold in Seattle. And then when you go ahead, you see the different items that have been sold in Portland. And then you also see the one that has been sold as well in Vancouver. Now, if we want to try and analyze this data set, and let's say we want to see the bikes, all the bikes that were sold in Seattle, whatever tool we pull this up on, all right, because remember there are 2 rows of headings here, and ideally it's always going to pick the first row. It's always going to pick the first row, meaning that you won't get to see the row that has what? Bikes, accessories, miscellaneous. I don't know if I'm making any sense. And so what you now need to do is you should have a specific column, and then you can now call that column items. And then you now have all of these bikes, accessories, miscellaneous, bike, you now have all of them as part of the items. And so it's now easy for you to now analyze items against locations, because location is on the same row of heading. Items is on the same row, on the same line of heading, right? So if you look at the one that has the good structure here, if you look well, I know it's a bit blurry. On the first row here, the first column here on this row is order ID. You have order date, you have ship date, you have ship mode, you have customer. So you see that all the headers are on the same row, making it easy for somebody can now come here to say, okay, I want to analyze the states against the dates that items were shipped out. But you cannot do that in the first picture. That's where data structure comes to play. Right? And so the next thing we want to look at is no empty columns. So I'm going to try a bit rush some of these. So empty columns and empty rows, I'll take the 2 of them together. So when you have an entire column like this, just like we have here, when you have an entire column like this being blank, it's going to disrupt your flow of data. When you want to try and analyze whatever tool you're using, be it Excel, be it pivot tables, be it Power BI, Power Query, whatever, it's going to be seeing that, okay, in this data set, this is the only 2 columns contained in this data set. The remaining ones after the empty column, is another table. That's the way it's going to be seeing it. The same thing for rows. When you have an entire row being emptied, it means that, okay, it means this is a different table, and then this one is a different table. However, you don't want to confuse empty columns and empty rows for empty cells. They are 2 different things. So empty cells would mean, yes, the entire column may not be empty, but a cell in particular is being emptied. What does that mean? It means that probably in that particular day, no sale was made, or no customer came to buy a product, but it is still part of that day, right? So it's an empty cell does not mean it's an empty column. Okay, so the next thing we want to look at is in data structuring. All dates must be in the same column. All dates must be in the same column. So if you look at this one I marked good here, it's easy for me to analyze month by revenue. It is easy for me to analyze month by revenue compared to when it was scattered all through here. You can see this one here. You have January, you have February, you have March, April. If I want to analyze for the month of January against a particular revenue, I would have problems here. But when I come here now, you can see I can just call out the month against revenue. And then when I want to specify, I can now specify, okay, for January, I can now filter the month column for January alone. All right? And so all dates must be in a single column. All right? And then the next one is all columns must have unique data types. All columns must have unique data types. So even when, let's take for example, we have the same, we have different dates. Now, you have in dates, you have year, you have months, you have quarters, you have what was it called? You have the likes of quarter, months, year, right? So months is a different data type from year. So you should have a column called year, and all the years are being all the years are on that particular column, and then all the months are on that particular column as well. So all data sets should have all columns rather must have unique data type. So you should not have a column for year and you're seeing months, you're seeing January there. All you should be seeing there should be 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020. All right, but you shouldn't be seeing January where you have the column for year. You shouldn't be seeing days where you have the column for days. So all columns again must have unique data types. Okay, and then the next one is no totals or subtotals in your data sets. If you look very well at this slide, you would see that we have a data set that has different columns. It's a revenue data set. You have the column for revenue, you have the region, you have the store, you have the dates, right? And then you notice that for all the revenue, there's a total row at the end here. There's a total row here. Now what this implies, if we go ahead to analyze this data set, it is going to be picking that total as part of the revenue. And so it will not be like there is a particular region that has this total as its own revenue, which that's not the case at all. It's a very wrong information. And so when you are structuring your data sets for data analytics, you want to understand that subtotals or totals are not to be included in your data sets. All right, and then the last one is there should be no obstructions around your data. You don't want to have things like comments around your data set. No. If it is just the data set, if it's just the columns, let it be that. You don't want to have all these little comments. Hey, it is good. No, you don't want that. The reason being that when you try to analyze these data sets, take for example on Excel, if you use pivot tables now, you would notice that the pivot tables is going to pick is going to pick up the that column for it's going to pick up that what's it called, the column for, the where you have those errors, those comments. All right, so that's one thing you want to take cognizance of, right? Sorry, Esther, any issue? But she's aware I'm in a live class now.
Hello, Iwinosa, are you there?
The gate is open, you can come pick it up.
Oh, I think his network is a bit it's somehow. Okay, before he joins us back, I hope you guys are enjoying the bits and the information. If you're enjoying it, please just say, give me a reaction at least. Give me a reaction. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Prince, you have a question? Do you have a question, Abiola?
All right, hello, can you hear me?
Abiola, do you have a
Can you hear me
question?
now?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, so
Yes, I can hear you.
sorry about that. So this is just a run through of the rules of data management or data structuring that that should guide you for data analysis or data analytics. You have one row of headings. There should be no empty columns. There should be no empty rows. All dates must be in a single column. Every unique data must have its own particular column. There should be no totals or subtotals anywhere around your table. There should be no obstructions around your table. All right. So I, I I would have gone ahead to um, do this quiz, but because of want of time, I'm going to you know I'm going to skip that, just so that maybe if there is time at the end of the class, we would come back to this. All right. So um, moving on. What exactly is now that we've understood data literacy. What exactly is data analytics? What exactly also is data analysis? All right. So data analytics, in its sense, in its real sense, means uh, uh, um, um, the entire process of looking at a data set, examining a data set, and the end point is to draw conclusions. The end point is to draw conclusions about the information that that data set contains. Remember, it's an entire process. It's a process, right? And so, what exactly is that process? The first thing there has to be a problem, right? There has to be a problem. So you should be able to define the problem. That's the first process in data analytics. And then after you have defined the problem, we want to know the effects of airtime in customers, or the effects of I'm trying to look for a word. Okay, the effects of online service in a particular church. That is the problem, right? Now that you have found the problem, you want to get the data that should solve that problem, right? So that takes us to data collection. So the second step is what? Data collection. And then you now go, okay, we're rolling out a form. Please, at the end of church service or at the end of the event, kindly fill this form. Your name, your location. Where do you prefer? What do you prefer? Rather, is it an online service or an offline service? That sort of thing. Okay, so you want to get the data that should solve that problem. All right. And so after you have collected that data, of course, there are going to be inconsistencies. There are going to be a bit of issues with your data sets. It's bound to happen. All right. So you need to clean that data. And when I mean cleaning data, I don't mean with soap and water. No, we don't do that here. Right? Cleaning data actually means you need to be able to take out some inconsistencies in your data set. So I'm going to give a very vivid example. So you reel out a form and you tell people, please, um, fill on the gender aspect, fill whether you are a male or a female. All right, and then somebody goes there to, at the end of the day, goes to fill man. Now, because ideally, what the system understood, or what you intend to analyze, is whether you are a male or a female. In the real sense, humanly speaking, the person is correct because he said, I'm a man. So it's either you're a man or you're a woman, right? But in this sense now, the question says, are you a male or a female? So if you do not correct such inconsistency by changing that man, in quotes, to male, you're going to be having errors. And what's the error you're going to have? The error you're going to have is in such a way that you would be seeing your tool, whatever tool you're going to use, is going to be seeing that man as the third gender. Right? So it's going to be seeing man, it's going to be seeing that you have three types of genders: male, female, and man. So it's going to take your due diligence as the data analyst to actually clean the data, take off those inconsistencies, and ensure that the data set is now, uniform across board. Now that you have cleaned the data, you have structured the data, you have ensured that the data is in right tune, in the right form. That's where data analysis now comes into play. And what is data analysis? Data analysis is that technique, the act of looking at, when you see the data, you now begin to uncover patterns. So you can now say, oh, for the number of persons that fill this form, we have about 70 males and we have 30 females. We have 20 of those males are below the age of 50. About 10 of those males or females are below the age of 30. All right. So you trying to uncover those patterns. You're trying to see the actual thing that the data is saying. That act is data analysis. Remember, we said data analytics is the entire process, from defining the problem, from data collection, from cleaning the data, data analysis. All of them are they are all data analytics. Right? And then after you have found out, you've uncovered those patterns, you have extracted those valuable insights, right? You now need to visualize, because the way it is in my head may not be the way it is for everybody. So I need to put it in graph. I need to be able to put it in some pie chart. That is data visualization. So all of these entail the data analytics process. Sorry, before I go on, Diana, how many more minutes do I have, please?
You still have like 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh, okay,
before we go back.
then. Perfect. So, I'm just going to quickly touch, I'm going to summarize data analytics and statistics, all right? So, statistics basically has been the act of, understanding data or analyzing data with the use of mathematical methods. That is statistics. For those of us who may have, gone through, maybe you did economics at one point, or you did some bit of maths, right? Arithmetic maths, yeah, where they tell you to get the average. Average is the total sum of the numbers divided by count of numbers, and then they'll tell you to get the mode is the most frequent figure or something, right? So using mathematical method, where you have to use paper and pen, you have to write all of those formulas. That is statistics. They do the same thing, but then data analytics, you're now using computational methods. You're using business tools. You're using tools, actual tools, the likes of Excel, the likes of Python, the likes of SQL. You're using those to actually now, instead of having to imagine you have a data set of 10 million rows, 10 million, 10 million rows, and then you are told to use mathematical formulas to find to get the average, or to get the mean and the mode of that. You'll be stuck there, because you may even get you get series of errors. All right, so that's where data, and that's the gap data analytics came to breach. Right, so data analytics is using statistical and computational and business tools to extract insights from data sets. All right, and so, but statistics is the foundation of data analytics. Again, statistics, usually we would say statistics is the grandmother or the grandfather, right, of data analytics. Right, so it's on the bedrock of statistics that data analytics is laid upon. Right, so although data analytics is broader, because you can use it uses statistics plus tech skills to analyze and visualize and then act on data sets. All right, so the data analysis process is just you telling stories with your data. Oh, from the data we got, 50% of our employees, they enjoy coming to work, 30% they prefer to work from home. You telling stories, that is data analysis. You're trying to uncover patterns. You're trying to explain, interpret what the data, is all about. So data insights. Data insights. Data insights is after you have uncovered those patterns, after you have been able to understand what the data is talking about. That information you have gotten, to be able to use it to enable a business to make informed decisions. You're now using that information that has been gotten. It's one thing to say, in this part of the world, it's easy for us to just say, we ran a test and this is the result. Right? This is the result of the test. But data insights goes beyond just telling us what happened. You need to be able to go further and say, why did this happen? And what are the next steps? What are the recommendations? How do we make this better in the nearest future? That's where data insight comes to play. Right? So information from data is transactional, but insight is transformational, because when you derive insights from a data set, it begins to transform the way you now do things. Okay, so you went to the doctor and the doctor is telling you that as a result of the test you ran, you have malaria. That is the information that has been given to you. But when you now go the extra mile to say, okay, I understand the area I stay, there are lots of mosquito. The recommendation would be for me to go get mosquito nets. The recommendation would be for me I could go get some insecticide. I could decide to fumigate my house. I could decide to get fumigate my house, and that sort of thing. So it's you need to be able to use that data set to go a step further. Right? So I wrote here that information from data is more like the summary of what's happening, but insight is going to answer the question of why it is happening. So I just have a bit of diagram. If you look at this data here, this is the data when it was gotten, and then we had to sort it. That is clean. We're trying to clean the data, right? And then after we have cleaned the data, we had to analyze, which is arranging the data. You can see it here. We are arranging the data. We are analyzing the data. Okay, the black guys, this is where the black guys should be. This is where the yellow should be, and all of that. And then we now went ahead, after we have analyzed the data, we now presented it to the board of directors. Right? However, we cannot just present it to them without telling them the stories. And that's where you now see this beautiful house here. All right. So it's a process from the data to to explaining with insights. Okay. So these are some of the tools we use. I'm just going to run through this. For beginners, you want to familiarize yourself with Excel, Google Sheets, data forms, and public domains. All right. That's for data collection. All right. And then when you go a step further, you want to start using the likes of advanced Excel, that's the likes of Power Query, SQL language, Microsoft Access. And then when you go higher, deeper into the waters, you now start talking of API connectors, web scraping, database and data lake management, Python programming. All right. And then again, for beginners, for data analysis and visualization, you can make use of Excel and Google Sheets. And then when you go intermediate, Excel, Google Sheets, Tableau, Power BI, all of those can be used for data visualization in an intermediate level. All right. And then when you go deeper again, for an advanced level, you want to use the likes of R programming, Python advanced analytics, and then of course machine learning. Oh, categories of data analytics. Sorry, I'm a bit fast because the time is not friendly at all. All right. So I'm just going to use a story to explain the different uh, categories of data analytics. So a young man called Mr. Daniel, all right? He goes ill. He doesn't feel so well, all right? And so he has headache. He has symptoms of or whatnot, and then he decides to go to the doctor. And the doctor now asks him, "Hey, what's going on? How do you feel? What's the problem? Why are you here today?" And, "Oh, doctor, I feel like this. My head is this. Um, I want to. I know my head is aching me. My tummy is this." He's now describing how he feels. That is descriptive analytics. When you describe what is happening, all right, when he describes what is happening, and then the doctor now says, "Oh, okay, fine, no problem. I see these are symptoms of malaria, but let's really find out what's going on." And then he now writes a note and says, "Okay, take this to the lab." And then the lab scientist now goes ahead to do what? To run a test. He takes your blood samples because he wants to actually find the root cause. What is actually making you feel dizzy? What's actually making you feel nauseating? All right. So that is diagnostics. Diagnostics analytics. You're trying to find out what really the root cause of the problem of the matter is. All right. And then after the diagnostics, when you now get the result, when you get the results from the lab scientist, you go back to the doctor, and the doctor now tells you, Mr. Daniel, from what we have seen here, we see that if you continue, then he asks some questions. How do you sleep? Do you use mosquito nets? No. Okay. What's the environment you stay? People wash and throw water anyhow and all of that. And then he goes ahead to say, based on these things you have mentioned, if you continue like this, you continue treating malaria. Now the doctor has now predicted the future of that person based on past data, based on what has been going on from the previous times he has come to the hospital, right? So the doctor now predicts into the future based on the past data. That is predictive analytics. And then after he has predicted, he now says, "Okay, fine, no problem, I'm going to recommend you to the pharmacist." All right. And then you now go to the pharmacist with those doctors' handwriting. You cannot read them. Only the doctor and the pharmacist actually knows how to understand them. So he writes a note and he takes it. You take it to the to the. Sorry, is my time up,
Um,
Diana?
Hello, Iwinosa. Yes, we'll be returning back to the main room
Oh,
like 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Okay. Okay. Let me
Yes.
just be done with my sorry. Okay. So and then the pharmacist now gives you a drug. So the pharmacy has prescribed drugs to you, possibly recommendations, what you should do to get better. And then cognitive is doing all of this: the descriptive, diagnosis, predictive, prescriptive. Not just doing it yourself alone, but doing it alongside with the help of AI. So cognitive is just adding AI to all these other four. All right. So because of want of time, I have it all here, on my slide, which will be shared to you. All right. So I'm just going to skip this. To the benefits of data analytics: increased accuracy, efficiency, competitive advantage, and it is evidence based. All right. Again, I'm going to skip this, and I'd love to really explain this. I'd really love to explain these roles in the data space. So the data analyst transforms data from raw formats to information. That's where he stops. From raw formats to information. He just tells you what's going on in this your data set. But the business analyst, that information that the data analyst has gotten, he now uses it to recommend possible recommendations. He uses that data to enable a particular business to thrive. So a business analyst is tied to a particular domain. So you have the likes of the healthcare data analyst. A healthcare analyst, his domain is the health sector. A political analyst is his domain is the political. So those are business analysts for the purpose of their respective domains to be able to thrive. All right. So they use the work of data analysts to enable a business thrive. And then the data engineer. So in your house, you have a specific pipe, a specific amount of water that comes into the kitchen is different from the specific amount of water that goes to the shower. It's different from the one that goes to the toilet, right? Why? Because a plumber has done his due diligence to ensure that the kind of pipe that goes to the kitchen is different from the kind of pipe that goes to the shower. It's different from the kind of pipe that goes through to the toilet. Right, so that's where the data engineer comes in. The data engineer, he ensures that the healthcare analyst, he gets only the kind of data sets that is for the healthcare analyst. The church analyst ensures that the church analyst gets only data sets for the church analyst. Political analyst gets only the data set for a political analyst. Right, so that's the role for a data engineer. So he's like a plumber, just ensuring that this person does not see, a marketing analyst does not see what the political analyst should be seeing, right? And then the data scientist, all this that we have mentioned, his job is just to ensure that he's able to predict into the future. That's the role of the data science. Pardon me, because of want of time, I'm just trying to summarize all of these, right? And then the database administrator, his job is to manage the database, all right? And then you don't need a PhD or advanced maths for data analytics. No, you don't need coding for data analytics. They are just minimal syntaxes that you can make use of in data analytics. My background is not technical. No, you don't need to be. Myself, my first 2 degrees, they are nothing relating to tech. My BSc I had in human anatomy. My postgraduate I have in occupational health. It has nothing to do with tech. But see me here, I'm speaking data analytics like it's in my blood, right? So you don't need any of all those things. So it's just what you need. Remember the quote we had by Brian Herbert. It's the willingness to actually learn, right? That is your choice. And then there are things you want to actually know how to in this whole data analytics sphere. 3 things: the technical part, the business acumen, and then the soft skill. You want to emphasis on business acumen. You want to be able to answer the right question, ask and answer the right questions. You want to also understand the goal of the kind of industry you'll be working in. If you're working in the healthcare sector, the kind of things you want to be understanding is the kind of diseases, the kind of patients, the kind of drugs. That is the business side of that particular sphere, right? And then soft skills. You should be able to tell stories. You see the way I'm speaking now, because I already know, I know my onions. I could do this without the slide, right? So you should be able to make the data relatable, right? And the way Diana is smiling means my time is up. But just your roadmap, basically, start small. Yeah, people are making the whole thing of $100 per hour, $1 million. People are making it. Start small. Start small, please. And then you want to learn. I have shared in this slide. This link is clickable. There's someone you can follow on LinkedIn that shares there are free courses in data analytics. Even Utiva also does a great deal of courses, right, where you can plug into their platforms as well, right? So you want to learn Excel, you want to be able to build portfolios, and most importantly, join communities. Utiva is one great community you can actually plug into. One good thing about the community is when you are feeling down, your community members, right, would be the one to spur you up. And then please build publicly, build publicly, build publicly. And I think Diana is already hinting me that my time is up. But please, you don't need certainty. What you just need is curiosity. Data analytics is not a destination, it's a journey of growth. Like I say, I don't call my mentees, I don't call them mentees, I call them my fellow learners, because we are all learning, right? We are all learning. And then if you love puzzles, if you love to make impact, then data analytics is that one best field for you. And I'm sure Diana has lots and loads of tracks that Utiva has, for people who want to come into
Yes,
the
we
data
do.
analytics space. It's a lot. It's an interesting field. Trust
We
me,
do.
a very very interesting field. So I wish you all the best in your journey into the tech space. Thank you very much, Diana.
Thank you guys so much. Please give him a round of applause. Give him a reaction. He knows his onions. He knows what's like. See the way he broke it down for every one of us to understand better. Thank you so much, Iwinosa. We really appreciate your knowledge. We are privileged to have this information to learn more from you, and we are looking forward. People that are here are looking forward to work with you or talk to you, connect with you in the future. You can connect with him on LinkedIn. He's on LinkedIn. I will share his LinkedIn account with you shortly. Also, if you have questions for him, please raise up your hand. Raise up your hand if you have questions. Just signify using the chat box or signify anyhow you can. Let's know so that we can answer your questions and queries. Anyone? Okay. Okay, that means you guys enjoy the breakout room. You're able to gather more information. So guys, thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Iwinosa, for sharing this important information. We really appreciate. And I'm very sure one or two people were able to, navigate. Yes, thank you, Okorocha. Thank you. It was fun. It was insightful. Please tell Ronke in the masterclass session when you enter there, tell him data was amazing. Iwinosa was amazing. Look at his screen. You can check him out on LinkedIn. You can reach him out wherever his social media is very, very buzzing. So thank you guys so much. I'll be sending the link for the masterclass so you can join back. Is that okay? Can you guys see the link in the chat box? Okay, please, you can return to the main room now. Thank you guys so much. Iwinosa, thanks for joining. Thank you. Really appreciate you. I know I'm just putting you on the edge. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's not easy, but I really appreciate you for the information. Thank you, Mayowa. Guys, please let's join the main room, the masterclass main room session.
Okay, so I need to join Zoom back. Wow. Give me
Recording in progress.
I said, may you dance to me, make you know put the drums. I swear you did both.
Oh, I can see Kemi the Ray
I
saying
think
that
we
we
are
are
back.
back.
Yes.
It's good to have you back. Now I have other people joining me. I've been lonely here. It's been boring. But it's good to have Kemi back. Kemi, what room did you join? And how was the room? What room did you join? How was the room? Can you give me a feedback? What room did you join? How was the room? Give me a feedback on your room. What room did you join, Kemi? Kemi, the Ray, what room did you join and how was the room? Let's come back. Let's talk. Data analysis. How was data analysis session? How was the room? Did you get value? Do you think, yes, I want to start this journey? I'm confident to start this journey. What do you think about that session? Kemi, the Ray is back. And of course, please tell me about the session. And I can see Itayo. I might check Itayo. Are
Yes,
you
I'm
there?
back. I am back. I'm back. I'm back.
Okay.
I hear
Great,
someone
great.
say the data room was bombed. And the name, let's see. Someone said the data room was bombed. I hope I'm not the only one seeing it. Okay, good, I see it. Kemi the Ray said very insightful. First time I clearly understand what it's about. Good. I'm proud of you, Kemi. Thank you so much for that. Lazarus data, procurement data. I'm seeing a lot of data. That guys, how was the room? How was your room? How was the room? Okay. Data science was super, very informative. Data science was fun. Good. So, guys, I hear a lot of it's like others haven't arrived. Everybody that is here is data, right? Ronke, is that true?
Yes, just data is available
Okay, guys.
right now.
So, guys, I don't want to keep them waiting. I mean, other guys are coming in. Product is coming in. Thank you so much, product guys, for joining. The data guys have already joined. Let's wait for the other guys, and then we can round this up because I don't want to keep you guys waiting. Now, two things I want to quickly touch on. Number one is, if you want to take this a lot higher than where it is right now, you want to learn more, to get into the tech space, this is your opportunity. Do you understand what I mean? This is your opportunity. Yeah, Adetola says that product marketing was superb. Adetomiwa was good. Yes. Adetomiwa is good. I know. Nehemiah says the data room was very informative. That's awesome. I mean, I'm quite very happy that I'm getting a lot of positive feedback all through from all of you. It's telling me one thing, that you all got value in the room. Now, let me spend a little bit time to share this with you. Again, if you want to take this a lot higher than this, you want to go a lot higher than this is your opportunity, to learn with Utiva. Okay, I think other guys are also joining in. I'm trying to make my second coffee for today.
While Itayo is still making his coffee, all you want to do right now is keep telling me how was the room you joined? How was the room you joined? How was the room you
I see
joined?
someone say that the UI UX design room was also good. I'm happy that it's good. So, guys, two things I want to quickly touch on. Number one is this. We want to help you guys get into the tech space. Do you understand what I mean? We want to help you guys get into the tech space. That is what we do here. That is our job. That is the work that we do. Our work is only one thing. It's like my coffee is already getting ready. We want to help you guys move into the tech space. We want to help you guys move into the tech space. That is the work that we do here. And how do we do it? If you're ready to learn a tech skill, data science, cloud, cybersecurity, product and digital marketing, data science, UI UX design, business analysis, you're welcome to UTIVA. This is home. This is where